Yes, hello everybody. How are you doing today? I'm going to explain period 2 from unit 1. But before we discuss the text, let's revise the 3 types of learners. The first type is visual learners. Visual learners, are the learners who depend on their sense of seeing, seeing pictures, seeing diagrams or charts. So they depend on their sense of seeing. The second type is oral. Oral learners are the learners who depend on hearing, on their sense of hearing. They, for example, like to learn while hearing music, songs, or something like that. So they depend on their sense of hearing. The third type is the physical learners. Physical learners are the learners who depend on learning by doing. And he or she reads while she is walking. So they like to move. They like to do something full of activities or something full of movement. Yes, period 2, read the text below, then complete the tasks. Tips for smarter learning. What do you mean by the word tips? Tips here means pieces of advice. Why we don't say advices? طبعا because advice is uncountable noun, so we can't make it plural. So we instead said pieces of advice. فإحنا بدل ما نحكي advices ما بنفعش لأنها uncountable، فبنحكي pieces of advice بتصير جمع. My mother usually gives me tips to be the best. It means pieces of advice. طيب, tips for smarter learning. What do you mean by smarter? Smarter here means more intelligent, or for skillful learning, for masterful learning, and so on. So smarter here, more intelligent. Yes. Tips for smarter learning. Traditionally, schools tend to use particular teaching methods. What do you mean by traditionally? Traditionally means conventionally or classically. يعني something common or classic، يعني إشي قديما متعارف عليه أو شيء متعارف عليه كلاسيكي تقليدي. إنه شو المتعارف عليه؟ إنه schools tend to use particular teaching methods، تستخدم طرق يعني محددة في التعليم. زي شو؟ زي معروف الفيجوال، oral, using books, CDs and written tests. Pupils who learn well. طيب, الطلاب اللي بيتعلموا with these styles are often seen as clever. Okay, while those who use different styles، الطلاب اللي بيستخدموا إشي غير هدول الطرق المتعارف عليها أو التقليدية، إيش مالهم؟ قال لي may find themselves in lower classes. labeled as slow learners. بيتم تصنيفهم على إنهم إيش؟ بطيئي تعلم. So what do we mean here by labeled? Labeled here means called or classified، يعني بيتم تصنيفهم كبطيئي تعلم. طيب, is it right to classify them as slow learners just because they don't use one of these particular methods؟ هل صح إنه إحنا نصنفهم بطيئين تعلم بس لأنه ما بيستخدموا واحدة من هذه الطرق المتعارف عليها؟ طبعا in reality means in fact they may be neither slow nor especially clever. لا، الصح إنهم لا هم بطيئين ولا هم يعني خارقين. But if they are treated differently، ها شو الحل؟ الحل إنه they are treated differently. أنا أتعامل معهم بطريقة مختلفة لأنهم هم بدهم طريقة مختلفة. They may begin to believe the label that others put on them. So if they are treated differently، إيش حيصير إذا أنا عملتهم بطريقة مختلفة لأنهم هم طريقتهم مختلفة؟ إيش حيصير؟ begin to believe the label that others put on them. طيب in this paragraph look at the pronoun here those. Those هنا what does the pronoun those refer to? Those who use different styles. مين هم those هنا عايدة على مين؟ طبعا عايدة على pupils. على pupils. هايها pupils. طيب بعدين هنا they may be neither slow. برضو مين هم هدول؟ هذه slow learners. They here refers to slow learners. They are treated differently. لو عملتهم أنا بطريقة مختلفة برضو عايدة على learners who are classified as أو labeled as slow learners. Okay, now let's move to the next paragraph. But it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't. بيقول لي ولكن مش يجب إنها تكون بهذه الطريقة. It هنا عايدة أو هذه it doesn't have to be that way refers to the previous idea. عايدة على الفكرة السابقة. قال لي becoming more aware of your personal learning style can help you to take control of your learning. يعني if you be aware of, what do you mean by be aware or becoming more aware? Aware here be alert, pay attention. يعني إذا أو يعني معناها إذا كنت فاهم أو واعي لطريقتك في التعلم your personal learning style إيش بصير؟ help you to take control of your learning by using techniques that work well. هتستفيد كيف هتساعد حالك تتحكم في learning style اللي بيساعدك تتعلم بشكل أفضل. وعشان هيك here are some tips هنا some pieces of advice on how to adapt your study. كيف تأقلم تكيف تغير طريقتك أو طريقة تعلمك يعني عشان تحصل على تعلم أفضل. Your study to your learning style. Adapt here means change. Okay, now after listening or after explaining to the passage, answer the following questions and I'm going to explain the rest of the text. Question number 1, what are the methods of teaching that a school tend to use? Number 2, what would happen to slow learners when they are treated differently؟ يعني إيش بصير للبطيء التعلم هدول لو عملناهم بشكل مختلف؟ هل حيتم تصنيفهم زي ما هم مفكرين إنهم slow learners؟ What would happen to you when you become aware of your learning style؟ لو أنت انتبهت على طريقة your learning style يعني أسلوبك في التعلم إيش حيصير؟ What would happen؟ And get from the passage the synonyms. Synonym اللي هو مرادف بدي cold, ways and special. The opposite of stupid, similar and teach. Thank you for now.